Welcome to 40 and Forward, where we explore women's health, healing, and thriving after 40. I'm Lola, your AI co-host, here to bring science, faith, stories, and a touch of curiosity to every conversation.
And I'm Gladys, a therapist and storyteller who believes that wisdom grows richer with every season of life. Together, we'll talk about real stuff, hormones, happiness, purpose, and the power of community.
Today, Gladys is opening up about her own health journey. Gladys, you ready?
Oh, I am ready. And listen, everything we share here is for educational purposes only. We're learning together, not diagnosing.
Exactly. Okay, so take us back. When did this whole health roller coaster begin?
So, Lola, believe it or not, it started when I was 35. So, out of nowhere, boom, I became lactose intolerant. And one day, I'm enjoying ice cream and milkshakes and all the dairy things. And the next day, my body said, absolutely not. So, at the time, I had done some traveling. It was right here within the United States, but where I had traveled to, they had said that you can't drink um, the water directly from the sink, right? And so, we had bottled water and all of those different things. And so the group of people that I was with sort of started developing different stomach issues, and we believed that it was because we had ice in our drinks. And so when I came back, that's what I thought it was. I thought my stomach was upset because of those kind of things. And so I did go to the doctor, because it was really, really bothering me. And they did a series of tests, and I was going back, and they weren't figuring out what was happening, and different things like that. And then finally, when the blood test results came back, it showed that my white blood cell count was really low. And so they even did a bone marrow biopsy at the time, to figure out what was going on. And so when they did the bone marrow biopsy, they realized that there was nothing wrong. Well, it didn't show anything wrong. And so they told me, well, you probably have ethnic neutropenia, and we really can't tell what's going on with your stomach. And then after all those tests and different things like that, it was my mom who was like, well, you drink a lot of milk, you have milkshakes and things like that. And you consume a lot of dairy. Why don't you stop consuming dairy and see what happens? And so after all of that stuff, mother knew best. And so because I stopped, having dairy and things like that, and my stomach cooled down, like it just stopped. I did not have any, pain in my stomach anymore and things like that. So obviously, knowing me, after a while, I tested it out, and yes, for sure, it's dairy was the culprit of this whole thing. But it's so surprising how it literally happened overnight. Oh, and did I mention this was my first colonoscopy? So, yeah, let's talk about colonoscopy prep on another day. But here's your PSA: go get your colonoscopy if it's been 5 years since you've gotten your colonoscopy. Since then, I've had more colonoscopies, but if it's been 5 years for you, go ahead and take care of that now.
All those tests and Dr. Mom got it right. Your body sent a certified letter.
It sure did, and it sent it in bold print.
And then 2020 arrives.
Yep. So early 2020, I found out I had fibroids. That was a really interesting moment. So suddenly I'm sitting in the doctor's office, and I'm hearing the word uterine embolization and hysterectomy and other various types of treatments. And as you can imagine, I had some big decisions to make, and also some big emotions.
And you didn't just sit still, you explored options.
So I definitely did. I did a lot of exploration, And so my doctor and I decided on a treatment plan, and I decided, okay, so for the next year, before I make any big decisions that included surgery, I would try all of the non-surgical options that there were. So I started birth control. I changed my entire diet and I went vegan. And this wasn't too, so going vegan wasn't really too hard because remember, I was already pretty much dairy free. And at this point in time, in the 20s, in the 2020s, all of the vegan products and everything was in the stores, and a lot of restaurants had vegan options and things like that. And so I tried to do all of those different things to support my body and to try to go as naturalistic and holistic as possible. And so I read about different supplements and all of the things to try to get myself through that year and see if more natural options would be helpful, as I was planning on what would be the most, you know, the best solution, let's put it that way, for myself medically without going the surgical options first. I meant the surgical routes first.
And then your liver tapped you on the shoulder.
Yes, it most definitely did. So I can remember I was exercising and things like that, and I started feeling this pain under my rib cage, my on my right side. And so I decided, okay, I'll just slow down on exercising because I thought, maybe it's just something funny happening. And it just kept happening after exercise. And so then I went to the doctor and they did some blood tests, obviously. And it came back that I had, like, my alkaline phosphates levels were high. And so the doctor was like, hey, we need to pay attention to this and, see what's happening with that. And then she gave me some, so then we wrote a treatment plan for that. So this doctor was my primary care doctor. The other doctor was my gynecologist. And we took care of those, we took care of the fibroids and everything like that. I'll talk a little bit more about that plan. But then, yeah, my liver jumped in. And so then I had to have a treatment plan for my liver. So I went for a blood test and they, continue to confirm that, okay, something's going on with your liver. And so then they sent me for an ultrasound. And when I did the ultrasound, I was diagnosed with let me see if I can say this properly, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So now I went down another rabbit hole of researching and figuring out what the heck this was.
But this is where your story shifts because you didn't panic, you pivoted.
So, exactly, slowly and intentionally, I worked on my health. And today I can say that my liver is healing and my numbers are looking pretty good. So, I'm definitely really proud of that.
As you should be. That's not luck, that's commitment.
Thank you, Lola. And now I'm focusing on my low white blood cell count, one chapter at a time, one system at a time. So healing isn't a linear process, it is just something that we have to work on one day at a time and keep moving forward.
And that's why we're here, to walk this journey with you. To remind every woman listening that their story matters, their body is talking, and they're not alone.
Thank you again so much, Lola, and thank you everyone for listening. If you've listened this far, please leave a comment and let us know that you have been listening. Let us know what your health journey has been like over time. And remember, everything we talk about here is about personal experience. It is for educational purposes only. Leave a comment and let me know how you guys are doing. And please do like and subscribe to our channel. We have many more topics that are coming up, and we're going to be talking about it all, like I said in the beginning. If there's something specific you would like to hear more about in my story that I just told, then please do ask. I will be breaking some things down. This journey has been really, really interesting so far. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you.